The in between is uncomfortable because it has no labels. It isn't the old life, it isn't the new one yet. It's the hallway between chapters, the quiet space where things haven't resolved themselves. And most of us don't know how to stay there. Before we begin, I want to share this gently. The stories and reflections you'll hear in this series are part of a larger body of work I'm still shaping. What I'm sharing here is meant to be experienced, not reproduced. Thank you for holding it with care. We've been taught to move quickly, to decide fast, to make meaning immediately. But the in between doesn't respond to urgency, it asks for presence. If you're in a season where things feel unfinished, where clarity hasn't arrived, where you're learning to sit with what's unresolved, this episode is for you. Hospitals have a way of suspending time. Everything slows. Everything waits. The air feels thicker. Conversations soften. Even footsteps sound different. Destiny sat there, not just waiting on eternity to wake up, but waiting on herself. She hadn't planned for stillness. She hadn't prepared for quiet. But suddenly, there was nowhere to go. No meetings to rush to. No distractions to lean on. No roles to perform. Just a chair, a room, and the steady rhythm of a monitor reminding her that something fragile was being held. She realized how much she'd been avoiding stillness. Not consciously, not intentionally, but subtly. Filling space with productivity, filling silence with noise, filling discomfort with motion. Because stillness asks questions we don't always want to answer. Who am I without roles I've outgrown? What do I choose now? The in-between doesn't offer clarity right away. It offers honesty. And honesty can feel like grief before it feels like freedom. Destiny noticed how quickly her mind tried to solve things. What's next? What this means? How to move forward? But the moment didn't want solutions. It wanted attention. She began to see how often she treated transition like a problem to fix instead of a process to respect. The in-between exposes that habit. It doesn't give you a roadmap. It gives you space. Space to feel what you've been carrying. Space to notice what no longer fits. Space to recognize who you've become while you were busy surviving. There's a vulnerability that only shows up when you stop moving. She had been strong for so long, capable, composed, reliable. But strength had come her default. And default strength doesn't leave much room for tenderness. She realized endurance had taught her how to survive. But survival doesn't always teach you how to live. That version of you deserves gratitude. But she doesn't have to lead anymore. The in-between is where that handoff begins. It's where the woman who endured meets the woman who is becoming. And that meeting is sacred. Destiny didn't make any decisions in that hospital room. She didn't outline a new future. She didn't reinvent herself. She let herself feel the weight of what had been lost and the possibility of what might emerge. She learned clarity arrives differently when you don't force it. Where in your life are you being asked to pause instead of push? What are you trying to resolve that may need to be felt first? What part of you is tired of performing certainty? You don't need answers today. Becoming doesn't rush you. It invites you. It doesn't demand clarity. It welcomes awareness. The in-between isn't something to escape. It's something to honor. Because this is where the edit happens quietly. This is where old roles loosen their grip. This is where your inner life catches up to your outer one. If you're here right now, between what was and what will be, you're not lost. You're becoming. I'll see you in the next chapter.